Hey guys, a few weeks ago I asked you to ask me some questions so that I could answer them, and you guys delivered. So, in no particular order, here are some of your questions. Shane Horney asks, what is your favorite magic trick? That is a tough one right off the bat. I'll tell you what, I can tell you two of my favorite tricks that I perform. It's tough for me to come up with another one that is my favorite that somebody else performs, but two of the ones that I perform that are my favorites are the invisible deck, which I don't think is on the channel yet. I could be wrong, but if not, it will be soon. And the bunny rabbit trick, which is on the channel. Those two are two of my favorites to perform. They're also two of the most requested fan favorite tricks, if you will, that people ask me to do when I'm out and about. So those are two of my favorite magic tricks that I perform, at least. Another FPS Cinema asks, how did you come up with the name MagicFergie? That's one I've kind of wanted to answer for a while, because I'm sure for some of you it might be a little confusing or a little odd, but magic, obviously, because I'm a magician and I do magic. And the Fergie is, as much as I love the singer Fergie, is not based on her. It's actually my last name. My last name is Ferguson, so it's a nickname that I was given when I was growing up, Fergie. So somewhere along the way, Magic and Fergie were put together. And I don't know if I came up with that or somebody else did, but here we are. Oblivious asks, what magic trick made you really go wow and want to start magic? I have some memories of seeing a magician when I was at daycare, when I was very young, and just being fascinated with him, and also seeing a variety show at a local school where there was jugglers and magicians, and being wowed by them as well, and really wanting to know how magic was done. So I don't think there was one trick in particular that kind of sparked my interest, but definitely just seeing magic and wanting to know how it was done. Ozan Gedik asks, why did you start making these amazing magic tricks that blow my mind every week? Greetings from Germany. Thank you, Ozan. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And greetings from Canada. It's very cool that I have viewers from all over the world. That blows my mind. I think that's the coolest thing. So why did I start making these magic videos? Well, it kind of stemmed from people asking me to do magic when I was at my other job or just out and about, and either not having the time or the opportunity to perform a magic trick for them, or not being prepared, not necessarily having, let's say, a deck of cards with me. So I wanted some way to be able to show my magic, and that people could enjoy. So I had a camera, I had the editing abilities, and had everything I needed to do it, so I did. Every Kaz asks, how this trick work? I'm not sure, I can't remember which trick you're referring to there, but it was probably magic. Black7 Apex 23 asks, do you work as a bartender in the restaurants you perform in, or do you just do magic for guests? I don't work as a bartender, I don't work as a server, I strictly do magic and balloon animals for the guests in the restaurant. Although I am dressed up more so than the servers or the bartenders, and I do have a name tag that says the magician. So sometimes when I walk up to tables, they assume I'm the manager, and they'll ask for a takeout box or a refill on their drink. And it's always a little awkward to explain to them I'm not actually the server, though sometimes I can help them out. I can grab a takeout box if they need it. Nico Magic asks, what age did you start magic, and would you ever think about doing a quick collab sometime? Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Nico. I started doing magic when I was about 7 years old. I got a magic kit for my 7th birthday, and I was actually a little shy to perform the magic tricks, so I remember my mom kind of doing them for me. But that was when I first kind of got into magic. And I was 11 years old when I started working in the restaurant that I'm still working at. So I've been there for about 15 years now. But I was 11 when I started working there, which probably violates some child labor laws. But We won't talk about those. And would I ever think about doing a quick collab sometimes? Sure. I'm kind of new to the whole YouTube thing, so I don't know how collabs really work, but I'd be down for it. Diego Pizarro asks, your biggest fail doing magic in front of someone. So there's one or two things that spring to mind right away, though I will give you the worst one, I guess. I was at a street festival, and I was doing a magic trick where I had a cloth handkerchief and a banana. And the trick is you put the banana into the handkerchief, and you make a magical gesture, and then you open the handkerchief, and the banana disappears. That's how it's supposed to look. That's how it normally works. And it's a very funny routine. The whole, I'm kind of condensing it, but the whole thing is very funny. What ended up happening for me is I put the banana in, drum roll, opened up the fabric, and the banana proceeded to fling out and land directly at the feet of the children in the front row. And there was nothing I could really do to play it off. It was kind of the end of the trick. It was the end of the show. So I just kind of laughed it off. I said, I'll have to keep working on that one. They thought it was funny, but where was the magic? So that was definitely my biggest fail in magic. Pippin Flyer, or Pipin Flyer, I'm sorry, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, says, I love when you don't explain tricks. It lets us a critical point of view. How do you learn your tricks? Do you find some on the internet or you create your own? Sorry for my broken English. Your English is just fine, don't worry. Yeah, I don't explain magic tricks because that is one of the founding principles of magic, is you don't reveal them. If there was no secrets in magic, it wouldn't be magic, I guess. So I appreciate that you appreciate that I don't explain them. How do I learn my tricks? Do I find them on the internet or do I create my own? I learn my magic from anywhere I can, really. Whether it's books or videos or other magicians. Sometimes we have gatherings where we meet up and we discuss tricks and we share different ideas. And definitely there's a lot on the internet nowadays that you can learn. YouTube is a vast library of magic and also tutorials as well. So I certainly learned some of my magic from YouTube. Diego Quintana says, I would like to know, how did you start learning magic, and if you were able to create a new trick? So going off of what I just mentioned, it can be very difficult to create a new magic trick completely from the ground up. And that's because a lot of new magic is actually just sort of rehashed old magic tricks that people have either forgotten about or have kind of been lost along the way. Oh, sorry, I bumped you there. So I've never created my own magic trick, but on the other hand, I do always try and put my own spin on a magic trick whenever I learn something new. Whether it's the actual the moves, the presentation of it, or the scripting, the patter, as we call it, I always try and make something a little bit unique to myself. Ryusi20 asks, hello, which magic video on YouTube is your favorite, or at least one of your favorites? Great job, by the way, you keep blowing my mind every week. Sorry if my English is a little clunky. No worries, I was able to read it fine, you're good. Which magic video on YouTube is my favorite? That's another tough one. There's a lot of good magic on YouTube. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna think about this one, and I will post the link to it in the description. So you'll have to go down there to watch it after this one. But whatever one I post, I'm sure it is one of my favorites, and I'm sure it is very impressive. And that's it, we're out of questions. I had a blast doing this. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave them below, and maybe I'll answer them in a future Q&A.